Everyone has a story. Share your story with true story, oh. Cause no matter what you're going through, it's not the end. Behind the glory, there.
Hello everybody, it's Blessed Ngim, the host of True Story with Blessed Ngim. There's still love in the air, and we're still on the edition of the show tagged LoveGist with Amazing Couple. Last week we had Pastor Mr. and Mrs Stashami, and this week we have another wonderful couple that will tell us their love stories and other things we need to know about their marriages. So join me as I welcome I don't want to say honorable, it will look as if he's a politician, but he's not. He's actually a minister. So join me, welcome Mr. and Mrs Dan Kon. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone.
Ma, we've not heard your voice.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here on the show today.
Thank you very much, Ma, for coming. Okay, one quick question before the main question comes in. Ma, you just gave birth recently. Okay. And I wasn't expecting to see you like this. I was expecting to see you big and all those pregnancy stuff, those delivery effects on your body and all of that. What happened? Tell us the secret. So if we give birth, or if I give birth, I'll not know what to do to my body.
Oh, well, what do I say? Where do I start from?
Yeah, there must be something to do. Other people say, no, it's my body nature. Other people say, I drink this tea. Other people say, I do one or two things. So tell us what you did, ma'am. I want to know.
Okay. I had my baby May 15th last year. So that means it's about 9 months. So that's actually taking a process of time. Because time is also involved when it comes to postpartum weight loss. But more so is the fact that it's not just the body nature thing. There has to be some work into it, watching your diet and doing some exercises to help shed, the weight, and I did that. So I guess that also makes up for why it's like I'm back to my pre-pregnancy weight. So
okay, alright. Okay, so women, people that just delivered, she didn't give details, but if you want to get details, you can pass through me. Okay. Alright, sir, this question is for you. The husbands actually go first in this kind of questions, then the wife now compliments. So sir, tell us your love story. How you met, how the connection started, and all of that.
Oh, interesting.
Very interesting. I like this part.
No, I don't mean the story is interesting. Right? That's more like an exclamation. Okay. Well, I wanted to protest and say, maybe they always say ladies first. Today,
I've already said so.
She already
wasn't
said
part of. This is not part of Amazing Couple story.
Okay, the reason I said you should go first, like I said last week, the husbands always miss one very interesting part. So if you miss that part, your wife will not then also not happy. So
wow.
The story.
Okay. All right. Well, our story is quite interesting. Sometimes it sounds unreal. Sometimes it sounds a little over spiritual, like people say. But it's our story, and we can't change it.
And can't do anything about
we can't do anything about it. That's how it is. Our love story is supernatural. That's the first thing I would say. It's supernatural. I am, like I've always been, I'm always good with, the ladies. Like I protect them, I take care of them, and all that. So even back in my school days, I'm always seen as the man that protects the ladies, that looks out for them. So one would naturally expect that, this is a very nice romantic guy that would have one Cinderella meeting and all that. But it wasn't that way. It was supernatural. It was supernatural. I had left Makurdi back to Lagos. I was in Lagos when I left school, and I had come to Makurdi to do a project, to do a startup project of a school, And then after some years, I had left back to Lagos, and somehow I felt really uneasy going back. Well, it was quite comfortable there. Lagos is Lagos. Once you hustle, you will see results. So once you're a hardworking person, you know, it's easy. You can just live in Lagos. So, you know, here is this young man in Lagos, back to Lagos and back to the hustle, and doing fairly well in a sense, but not comfortable. A little, should I say, very uneasy most of the time. And once I begin to feel that way, I know where to go. You know, I just retreat and start pushing and seeking the face of God. What's going on? I'm not easy, you know. Lavishly just praying in the Holy Ghost and just seeking for that ease, maybe that release. And then sometimes you might feel, okay, since I'm a worship leader, the easiest thing to do at those moments is just to worship, sing, and then I'll feel a release. But this time, nothing. So I started asking and probing further. Then I perceived in my heart that my assignment in Makurdi was not done yet. I had to come back. It sounded very foolish, you know, but you see, I've learned in life that no matter how foolish an instruction in your spirit sounds, once it is God giving the instruction, you would help yourself. I'm not even advising you to respond. I'm saying you will help yourself to respond. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So, of course, I responded, packed my things, you know, like my sister humorously said one of those times, she said, the thing be like Abraham. He said, okay, pack your bag. You just woke up. You know, we just woke up and said, I'm going back. How? Kilo day. You know, and then I came back, stayed back a little bit, and then after some time, I started understanding why. Because I had things, God had things for me to do in Makurdi that I wasn't done with yet. And I was prepared in my heart to know that at that point, it might take the next decade or 20 or 30 years, I was willing to stay. Interestingly, right there, at the obedience of that instruction, was a provision for a life partner. Yes, I must say that. So I went back to my place of service, you know, ministering to God and all that, and then supernaturally, of course, naturally, I had noticed her in church. There was this fine couple that used to have one afro like that. So, and there was this tall, fine couple. I was like, okay. So, listen, it's just notice. So I just noticed. Normal. You will notice.
Yeah.
No? Like Blessing, it's a beautiful lady. So you just notice that she's fine. Do you understand? And then I noticed that kind of harmless noticing. You know. I didn't know that noticing was an imprint in my heart. Okay, in one of those services, it was very strong in my heart. I was, you know, kind of leading worship, caught up in the spirit. Like I said, our love story sounds a little unreal, but it is what it is. So there is no quoting it, there's no trying to bring it down, put a step down transformer so that everybody can relate with, like, okay, let even the person in the club relate with it now and all that. No, it was supernatural. So I was caught up in worship, intense worship. I was leading the people of God in worship, and it was intense. The power of God was strong, it was deep, it was intense. And of course my eyes were closed for most of the time. And then at some point I opened my eyes. It was almost like I couldn't notice anybody in the hall again. You know. And then you see why I say it sounds unreal, because you're already laughing. You say, okay, you should take this thing. And I saw somebody hugging, as in hugging a burglary, the church burglary.
Okay.
I'm praying.
Oh.
She was caught up. She was in the spirit. And then it clicked in my heart then. Not as if that's what caught my attention. But for me, that was the cause. It stands out very clearly. That was the point. If you tap me from my sleep, I'll tell you, that was, I can't even remember many things before and after. It's clear. That was the point. You know. And I saw her. Well, I didn't do anything about it for some time. Of course.
Risky.
You know.
That was a risky step.
Well, you could say risky. I had always believed that, well, I was going to marry a very beautiful woman.
Yeah.
And no woman was ever too good for me. No woman. So, in summary, that was our meeting point for me. But our meeting point now, I know some people want to hear LoveGist. Our meeting point now in the natural. Okay, I made some moves. You know now.
Yeah.
You know how we do these things. Yeah?
There must be.
You go and say hello first. And then
Make yourself known.
I said hello. And then this was me. This, celebrated worship leader. Approaching this beautiful lady to say hello. She should feel honored now. Do you understand? She should feel honored that this man of God, this anointed, even this person that was leading this kind of powerful worship that was making her hug, hug burglary, was coming to say hello. And oh my God, she brought me down to my level that day.
Oh Lord.
Saying hello, how you doing? Can I have a word with you? And she's like, look, my brother. I always see this story, so don't worry. So she's like, look, my brother. And then, she had this Yoruba, demeanor, and all that. She said, look, my brother, I prepared stew. One delicious stew. And right now, that's the only thing on my mind. I can sit down and have a conversation with you. Jesus. You would have missed your destiny because Esau missed his own destiny for porridge. You would have stew. You would have missed your destiny. Okay, so I just had to get into that, and then that's how she left me hanging there. I was standing outside. Church people were wait.
Can you explain the circumstance under which that happened?
What circumstance now, other than the fact that you almost missed your... It was Sunday service. Where will you find me? Is it not church service you will find me?
The service was long. And after the service,
You were
I was
hungry.
honestly hungry.
Esau was hungry.
And
Esau
I
went to
wanted
hunt.
to go and eat.
Was Esau Esau belleful? Esau was not belleful. Esau was hungry. Okay. Well, Esau was hungry. So at that point, it was a temptation, So God's mercy kept you. Amen. All right. So interestingly, that's how it was, and then we started making the guy moves as usual. Start plotting graph, setting the traps. Now, just okay. She go follow this side. When you finish singing in church, she go follow this door. You will follow this door. Let it not be as if you're pushing woman in church. You understand? When she's going this way, but this door is shorter. So between when she will move from here to that door, you're already outside and by the parking lot, as if nothing concerns you. So those guy moves will start coming in. They'll just go block. They say, hi, couple, how you doing? And then, well, long story short, this is true story, not long story. So, long story short, we kicked off from there, from what was really supernatural at the beginning. The reason why I didn't just go into this fun part of it. The reason why I brought that story up is because some people may find themselves having those kind of intuitions in their spirit, and then they begin to fight it. Like no, I'm too sporo. My own is too much. You can get that kind of intuition in your spirit before you now bring the boy strategies. You know now, the blocking strategies. So I've told this story.
Okay, well, tell us your own side. So, wait, you saw her in the vision.
Okay. So I didn't see her in vision. Jesus. I did not see, I saw her with my eyes in the physical, inside church.
Okay, ma. So tell us your own encounter. How did it happen?
Okay.
Because there are most ladies that when a guy come up to them and say, I saw you in my dream, they are like, no. Which
No. I did not see her in my dream. Please don't be seeing ladies in the dream. Open your eyes.
Okay. For me, I came into Benin State as a youth member, and I started worshiping at my church, my present church. That was the first church I attended. Then, after a while, I left the church. I followed a friend to another church. So I had been in that church for some time, and I remember that particular year ended 2015, and I was having some satisfaction in my spirit, so I needed God to come through for me because I wanted something deeper, and I was trusting God for where He wanted me to be in terms of place of worship. And I remember that first Sunday of 2016, I went to church. That was the second church I was attending now. When I got there, I sat down and I heard in my spirit that I should leave now and go to the church that I had left earlier, which is my present church now. You know, the way it happened, remember I said I was praying that, beginning of the year, we always try to seek the face of God. I was really praying and trusting God, and I was like, God, I'm going to be very serious this year. I went to church very early that day, so service had not really started. There were just a few people. By the time I was leaving the church, it was like somebody was pursuing me. The usher met me, like, where are you going to? You just came and said, no, I need to be somewhere. I picked a bike, and then I went to church. When I got there, in fact, the word that day was just what I needed for my life and destiny. And then that was when I first saw him. Because the first time I started attending the church, he wasn't there. He wasn't there. Because when I came and I saw him, I just noticed him like,
she noticed you too.
He sings well, and the worship was really good, and well, my mind is fine too, so basically that was just it for me. And then he walked up to me like that Sunday after service, and the stew thing, but I really just believe that everybody can understand that I was hungry after service.
I understand.
I needed to go home, So basically, that was just an aside. That was not the main thing, So, that was it. And just like he said, it was very supernatural. Because honestly, I had left that church with the intention of not going back. And then there I was, like God was saying, go back to the church now. And I went, and that was where I met him. And well, I wouldn't say like at the moment I saw him, I knew that this was my husband. No, it wasn't like that for me. We became friends. We started an entrepreneurship program together. I told him about the program. We started going there together. I mean, we would walk.
Okay, so wait now. So as the head of the family, wait. I say you should wait now. Wait.
No, let me.
Wait. I said wait now.
We will.
Wait.
Okay, I'm waiting.
It's okay. It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay. Honorable. It's okay. All right. So let me bring that in. Well, you see, it was I needed to come in at this point so that I can balance things up a little bit. It was supernatural. Then there was the natural. The supernatural is the super on top of the natural. Okay, there is the natural that should follow afterwards, because some people may lose, good relationships. They may lose people when I wouldn't want to, but when they try to act in a certain way, okay, so they can lose some things. So she was talking about an entrepreneurship program. Let me tell you something. How far you are willing to go for what you have seen, a good thing you've seen. Say he that finds a wife finds a good thing, can also determine whether it comes to you at all or how soon it comes. The entrepreneurship program, I did not need entrepreneurship training. Where is my phone? I can go and learn entrepreneurship. No harm to all our entrepreneurship trainers and instructors. So all the nice guys here that made us laugh, that taught us. Well, for me, it was mostly about laughing there. It was not really okay, but I was chasing something. So I attached myself to. So when you're chasing something, you have to. So for me, it was win-win. Okay, I will now learn entrepreneurship too. And I'll now be seeing this babe every time. Okay. Do you understand? So this powerful man of God, this powerful minister, went to learn entrepreneurship that he did not need because he was pursuing a woman. Okay. So I just needed to come there so that you not think that she's trying to say, this is my husband, he seeks knowledge, he was so interested in becoming an entrepreneur. I'm a minister. Okay, so I did not need entrepreneurship. We all need entrepreneurship sense. Do you understand? But at that point in my life and destiny, entrepreneurship was not what I was looking for. I was looking for a woman, a destiny helper, okay?
Wow.
Okay, so I just needed to bring that in, and then the trekking started. We will have money. You see, love is a beautiful thing.
Explain
How
you used to follow me.
Oh Lord!
No. We would
Okay.
close from church. Our church is quite a distance.
Okay.
He will walk you to your house.
He will walk. No,
He's like,
Okay.
He will walk me. I wish I can give details, but for the purpose of a wider audience, let me not describe the distance between the church.
Why am I
house.
sweating?
Then when we get to the house,
This place is cool. Why am I
we will
sweating?
now walk back.
The both of you walk back.
Please let me explain.
Oh Lord!
From Castinada Street, Sharpen, we walk up Castinada Street and then proceed to walking to Inipi Street. And then we'll say, okay, let's go back to Zenith Bank around Inipi Street. And then we'll turn through what's the name of that street? They make me
I
street.
don't know the name of the street.
Wow!
Before he would go back to ask me where he was living. To North Bank.
Kai.
Hello, ma.
Hallelujah! Thank you.
At what time?
At what time?
Then we'll finish the entrepreneurship training. And in fact, interestingly, I had money to go home.
That's what I was trying to say.
Enjoyed
Hey.
the process.
Now you're talking.
Talk.
Wait first. Was I trekking alone?
No, but you introduced me
Into the trekking skills.
Have you ever trekked in your life? Why did you accept? We were walking in love. It was the love walk. So, First Corinthians chapter 13, you read it, right? From verse 3 to 13. It describes the love walk. So we were having a love walk, and I was teaching her the word of God.
Wow, that was such. I amazing. Who would have known that Mrs Dan Kon would have done this?
Good.
Alright, so that was amazing. Thank you very much for sharing.